everyone. Welcome back to some more Smash Symposium. This time we're going to be discussing the new stages we want to talk about, or we want to include into the next Smash Brothers. And what can they do, they being Nintendo, to improve the online experience?
But not only that, we have a special guest!
Robbie?
I'm here, guys. I'm glad
hi,
you invited me.
Hi, Jughead.
It's that Jug fellow.
Him too.
Good day, y'all.
You
Good
had
day.
some ideas for how to improve online experiences and stage choices that you were interested in that you wanted to talk about.
Well, everybody has idea for stages, but I feel like I'd be a good person to talk about for online experiences since I've spent a lot of time with the randoms.
Yes.
Well, let's hear what you've come up with.
We'll do stages. So I think the two most obvious choices for stages should come from Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey.
That's fair.
I could see that.
It almost seems like a given to me. But what do you think they should do? Because the land of Breath of the Wild is so big. Where's the stage going to be?
It could
I
be another
think-
tour.
My idea would be the stage itself, everyone should be very tiny on top of the glider as a giant Link glides over the entire map.
It's very reasonable. I like that.
But what if the glider's
Classic
part of
take.
his moveset now? That would be kinda...
Well, then there'll be even tinier versions of people fighting on top of that Link.
Do you
Like
think
where
that
this
it'd
is
be
going.
more like a tour stage, kind of like a Skyloft or Delfino Plaza?
I feel like that'd be
could
how
see
both
that.
of them would be.
Yes.
Odyssey and Zelda.
The Odyssey one, not to change topics, I could just see that being the ship, the Odyssey, traveling between
Yeah.
the different kingdoms.
Kind of like Lilac Cruise in a way.
Right.
I
But
guess,
not
yeah.
so bad.
But, the hat ship is kind of small, so I could see it landing in each kingdom for you to fight there before it takes off again and brings you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they could afford to show off many stages from Odyssey because they sort of showed off everything. Be too much spoilers that to worry about.
I don't.
Oh,
So,
you know, that
Maybe
that,
like just Cascade, Metropolitan,
The
Lake,
desert,
Desert,
sand, whatever you call
Kingdom,
it.
Sand Kingdom,
that's
Hat
what
Kingdom.
I was just thinking. Like it would, the ship would land in each area, and it'd kind of go to the background, I guess, and then as it's about to transition and start up, everybody has to jump back on the ship, and then
Yes.
it takes off.
That is exactly
And-
how I was.
In between the transitions, you can die if you're not on the
Yes.
ship.
Which,
Okay, yeah, I like
which would
that.
make you hate it, actually.
It would kind of be like
Skyloft.
Yeah.
yeah.
The difference is it's not a generic platform; it's a ship.
Yeah.
But
Skyloft plus Venom.
for Breath of the Wild stage, I could see it being a generic platform. It will visit maybe the beasts, the divine beasts. You could fight on top of them a little bit. They each have their own hazards. Or you go to important cities.
How do you think they transport the characters across Hyrule? Do you think it'd be more like a teleporty type thing, like what Link does whenever he fast travels?
I don't know
No,
how you
I could
work
see
that
that
into
being
a
his
fighting
intro
game.
now as the fast travel thing.
Right.
But I think
I
it
would
would
just
be
picture it.
generic platform.
Yes.
Yeesh.
I had another idea though. The Sheikah Towers.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a generic. It'd be a generic layout with maybe a few platforms they'd add. But I'm thinking of a way to not resort to traveling on the platforms again. The towers are in almost every region,
Yes.
and the background could change, almost like a watercolor painting.
And some of the towers actually had platforms on the side for you to rest at as you were climbing. So those platforms
Ooh.
could be used for fighting on.
I have an idea.
Maybe it's
A way
scrolling
to
one.
a way to transition between certain areas of the world and incorporate the beast would be you're fighting on each of the beasts, and then they each do something that transitions you onto another one. Like you're fighting on the mammoth, and then it eventually sprays everyone off with water up into the sky, and you land on the bird,
Who then
and then it flies
over.
around and drops you onto another one.
Yeah.
That's reminding me of the I think it was the Super Mario 3D Land stage from the 3DS version, where it was pretty much just a level that kept transitioning.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't exactly a tour level; it was a side scroller in multiple different areas, but then kept like repeating if you went on it long enough. So a little
Right.
bit
I
like
want to
Pac-Land as
avoid
well.
the divine beast and especially the castle.
Oh,
I was actually thinking that an alternative to that would be a static stage that would be like somewhere in Hyrule Field, and you'd be able to see in the background like guardians crawling around, shooting at things,
that could be cool.
or the tower being activated and deactivated, kind of like what is it, Great Bay, like how Great Bay activated or not activated, how it functioned, where you could also see in the background the moon was coming closer, but then the four giants would push it back into the sky every now and then,
So
and then
Right.
reset the pattern.
a cinematic background is what you're saying.
Yes.
But where would you be placed in the world?
That's what I was saying, Hyrule Field, because I think that would be the
Or
most
the Great
iconic.
Plateau looking
Or the
at
plateau,
Hyrule
yeah.
Field.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fair.
The plateau would also work really well.
And
have
just
another
because I was just gonna say real quick, just because it needs to have a hazard that ruins the whole level, the guardians can randomly target people in the foreground.
Or the broken one will be there and you can destroy it, but it'll
that'd
repair
be
over
cool.
time.
Yes.
Do you remember all those tree houses that the Bokoblins have?
Oh yeah, they do have a lot of tree
Yes.
They could
houses.
easily construct one and they could place it anywhere it would fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that could work.
I guess it would kind of remind me of the Bokoblin fortresses in the Wind Waker stage on Smash 4 for Final Destination.
Yeah, in the background. Or the one
Somewhat.
you're fighting
yeah.
on.
It's like the Wind Waker Final Destination version. It's
Yeah.
just a random
Yeah.
platform in the ocean. Yeah.
Their little
In
lookout
regards
tower.
to the Great Plateau idea, for a cinematic shot like that, I can imagine it being trained on, like the background would be just trained on Hyrule Castle as Calamity Ganon takes it over.
Ooh.
And then as time goes on, you can see the light coming out of the castle when he's defeated by Link and Zelda, and then he would come back after that.
Oh.
And then
I
you
was
can
gonna-
also see like the divine beasts in the background shooting their lasers or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it could transition between having like they'd all start shooting their laser like slowly throughout the thing. It would be a different laser until they all are targeting it. Then it would suppress Ganon, and the castle would look normal for a minute, and then after a while it would come back and take it over again.
And maybe you could also see like transparent images of the four champions
Oh yeah.
as each one activates. That'd be cool.
And then the giants hold the moon up in the sky.
And then giants hold the moon up in the sky, and then the turtle shows up.
Yes. Giant turtle. and
Speaking
then
of turtles,
Tingle.
what about
Tingle.
Splatoon?
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think we can expect to see
A Splatoon stage.
either Inkopolis or the Reef
Hmm.
from Splatoon 2.
I could see that.
Now,
Would
I've noticed something in the two recent Smash games where we expect something from the most recent game, but they instead use something from the game before that.
Like
Well,
how,
we have Urchin Underpass in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
like how the Inklings
So-
are going from Splatoon 1 design instead of Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember in Brawl I was expecting to see Mario Galaxy in some way, but there's nothing. We instead got something from Sunshine. And then in Smash 4, then we got something from Galaxy, even though it was old by then.
Right.
So if that is a pattern that will hold, then I am thinking maybe we might actually get an old stage from the first Splatoon.
Mario 3D.
Yeah.
Land.
So, do you think it'd be Urchin Underpass
Ooh.
because that's in the first game and not in the second, or do you think it'd be something a little different?
Well, that, as far as which one they would use, I don't know. I just picked Flounder Heights or Mahi Mahi Resort because those are stages
Okay.
that have elevated centers, and I'm just trying to avoid walk-offs.
Right.
And this is another stage I could see a cinematic background happening in with an actual match going on.
Right.
if it was to be taken from Splatoon 2, I could see it from the reef. It's got the bridge and all that in the middle, or Inkblot Art Academy because it has that structure in the center.
I was also considering Salmon Run.
Oh yeah, and you could have the little salmon run dudes doing things to you.
And then you could have events happen every now and then where it would darken, and then maybe like an actual stage event would happen where maybe the salmonids get restless, or maybe the mothership shows up, something like that.
A stage
And then
boss
you-
True,
appears.
but is that really the best? Or
Because remember, these
I think
stages
Splatoon,
don't
I
have
don't
to
think of
be.
Salmon Run immediately.
Well, Salmon Run is one of the more iconic modes of Splatoon as of late because it's been so popular.
If they were to make two Splatoon stages, I could see that.
So maybe to represent Splat 1, it could be Urchin Underpass. Splat 2, Salmon Run.
Maybe.
And then we could have a mode called Collect the Aegis. And then it would be great.
Robbie,
So those
any
are the-
thoughts?
What if the stage was like that one that pulled in pictures from the Miiverse and that it connected online and it would like put up, you know how they do ketchup and mustard?
Oh
And
yeah.
it could, you
Oh,
know,
a
do that.
Splatfest is what you're saying.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
randomly assigns it and it changes every once in a while.
I thought you were
Right.
talking about the actual Miiverse stage.
Well, he was comparing it to that. So it'd be like the
Yeah.
plaza, but a Splatfest would be going on, and it would pop up messages from whatever Splatfest is currently happening.
You know, it would be another transitioning stage, and it would just keep alternating the arenas depending on like what maps are being played at the time. And they do the news thing and interrupt the fight, and then you transition to one of the next maps.
As far as
There'd
other
be ink.
stages,
That hurts you.
there'd be ink.
Yeah.
As far as other stages, I could expect to see probably something from ARMS, though I
Just-
don't know what yet.
A ring. I feel like Arms and Punch Out would share a stage almost.
So you're really tiny fighting on the end of their fist
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
as they're
I have a
fighting.
list
Maybe-
of a bunch of stages that are probably not work, but I'm
Okay,
creative
go for it.
nonetheless. I was thinking, unless there's a new Luigi's Mansion, they've been reusing the old Luigi's Mansion. So I was thinking, Haunted
Dark Moon.
Towers from Dark Moon.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've also got for a Donkey Kong. I would like. Is there a Bramble Blast type of level in the recent Donkey Kongs?
There
No.
was a Bramble level in World 3 of Tropical Freeze, but it wasn't
Bramble just
exactly
most
like Bramble
memorable.
Scramble.
Oh.
I
Now,
would
what about
like,
Paper Mario.
well, on the topic
Oh,
of Donkey
Donkey
Kong, I want one of the silhouette levels. I think that would be really cool.
That would
Oh,
be
yeah, that would
awesome.
be nice.
And if they're
Oh,
willing to, quote, spend a year on a Star Fox level no one likes, then they can spend a year on making a silhouette level.
It wouldn't even. I can't even imagine it'd be that hard.
It would be one of my favorites if it wasn't terrible.
And then team matches would be really easy to keep track of.
For sure. I feel like that'd be more likely to be part of a level than a whole level.
Before
Like,
this
there's
gets
a
too much
section.
longer, we should maybe talk about the online stuff.
Okay.
I had a few
Well,
more
let me
stages.
just go through my other ideas.
Oh yeah, go ahead, real quick.
What about something for Paper Mario?
They
See,
did
I
that for
don't-
the 3DS version already.
Yeah.
I got an
Port
idea for that
Prisma.
one too.
For what, Jughead?
Port Prisma from Color Splash.
That could be neat. I could see that
I-
working.
I
be a
would like
total level
Rogueport.
Delfino.
See, the idea I had was you're fighting on the stage from Thousand Year Door, and there'll be
Oh,
people
yeah,
in the
yeah.
audience, and assuming you had items on, they could throw items on the stage, and the background would scroll, and different, platforms would appear, so the background is constantly changing, and changing the layout of the platforms as it scrolls by.
And if you taunt, you
That
can get
almost-
appeal points.
Ooh.
That almost reminds me of the intro to Mario Party 2.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, what about a Mario Party stage?
I've been wanting
That
one
would
of those
be neat.
forever.
I'm not sure if they're ever going to
I
do
have an
that.
idea
Just a
for
scrolling
an
one.
easy one. From Mario Party 5, Sweet Dream. You fight on giant cakes.
Yeah.
You could also do
It
Peach's
could-
birthday cake in that case.
Eats a
It could
pizza.
randomly decide the winner based not on who actually wins, but just on the whims of the game, just like real Mario Party, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. My favorite.
I want to see more series that won't get characters in the roster
And I have an idea for that.
being represented through stages, like Wave Race. You're fighting on, a dock that's attached to a beach house, and occasionally the racers will come by, and some of them will jump over the dock. There'll be a hazard. A wave will wash over and trip you or something.
All I'm thinking
Right.
of is Tortimer Island from the 3DS version.
Yeah.
There's a buoy you
Have
can
you
fight
heard-
on.
Have you
Captain
heard of
runs you
Urban
over.
Champion?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that the first Nintendo fighting game?
Yes.
Kinda.
I
Technically.
can see
Yeah.
that as a new retro stage, an Urban Champion Street.
Oh, he could be a
It'd
new
function a
character.
little bit like
Urban
if
guy.
Flat Zone and Wrecking Crew
Mm,
were combined.
yeah.
Maybe. And speaking of Flat Zone, I could see them bumping that into a Game & Watch gallery type thing where there's a classic face and then they could transform into a modern face.
Oh, I wish. I just recently played through all those again. I love them.
1080 snowboarding is another one I could see a stage for, but not character.
Man, do you think they'll add a GoldenEye one?
They actually wanted to at one point, but they'd have to get approval from Microsoft and Rare and the owner
Oh.
of James Bond
Illegal issues. all that.
and Activision, I believe, currently has the rights to James Bond, so they'd have to get their approval as well. So no, it's not going to happen.
Screw them.
James Bond was actually planned to be in Smash at first.
Oh gosh. What would
that cloaking device from Perfect Dark, I think it was.
would he play
Yeah, well,
like
they removed
Snake?
that. That became a Star Fox item.
Whatever
So-
they come up with for stages, I just hope that any stage designed for 8-player Smash be limited to an 8-player mode.
Yeah,
I don't want
that'd
any
be
more
neat.
Palatinus Temple type stuff.
Oh, you wouldn't want to have small groups playing on big maps. Fair enough.
Because we always separate, and then it becomes a chase scene, and it's dumb.
It becomes
Maybe-
where's Waldo
maybe-
trying to figure out where everyone is because it's
Yeah.
so big.
For those big stages, what if they dumbed down the size for 4-player Smashes, but then increased it for 8-player Smashes, like how they increased the smaller stages? Just do it in
Oh,
reverse.
That would make
Right.
sense, but I don't think that's something he would do.
like a medium battlefield.
You mean Battlefield?
That's small battlefield.
I know you guys covered modes last time, but in the same vein of stages and transitioning to online, for fun is too open, for glory is too constricted.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a middle ground where I don't know what you do about items and rules and whatnot, but the stages would all have a battlefield form.
Oh yeah, I do think they should have a battlefield form for all stages as well as an omega form.
An alpha form.
Right.
Anyways, okay. Online.
I want hostable lobbies
Yeah.
For randoms?
for randoms. People can just join you.
If you
Sort of
leave
like
it
a
open.
server-based thing.
Yeah.
So,
Make it so that
That
you
way
could
you
have
can that way you can actually choose stages.
you could have a room that has like 4 or 6 people in it, and they can be in 1v1s, and it just cycles through them, and then you don't have to have the awkward thing of we've got 5 people who want to play.
Right.
Or just allow more than 4 people to play online now. I assume they're going to have dedicated servers this time since they're making a paid-for online service.
Oh yeah.
we have no idea.
I wouldn't
yet.
put my
Here's
Money on
another idea. Don't make us pay for the online service.
Then you're not going to
Let's
get
just
good
find out.
online.
I mean, it's been pretty decent.
Still, though, can you imagine
Yeah,
it
yeah.
being
If it
decent
were-
now but better later for $5 a year?
Fair enough. $5 a year?
Something low.
That's yeah, that's fair.
So with random online, I've spent so much time on there. It's a jungle,
Yes.
and I've come up with the 4 biggest issues that arise out of, and it's been the same since Brawl. They barely fixed a thing between Brawl and Smash
Kleenex,
4.
Charmin. Oh wait, you said something else. You didn't say Kleenex tissues. You didn't say tissues.
No product placement, what geek.
I've
Hey,
got 4 major problems here, and I've come
Yes.
up with solutions for each. And you guys can tell me if they're good ideas or not.
Okay.
So the first issue at hand is I join a room, I sit and wait. The matchmaking is slow or stale, giving me the same players in a given session. Despite the improvement in options with For Fun and For Glory, half the time my room is empty. And most of the time, I feel like the matchmaking system can easily find 2 people to pair up for one-on-one, but
Right.
struggles to put full rooms together.
The-
So what do you think about the system matching one pair of one-on-ones with another pair to get 4?
I mean,
For fun, right? Not just for glory.
Or Glory, because Glory has 4 player.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
don't
Well,
you
they have-
specifically pick what you want to do, 1v1?
Yes,
or...
you have to specifically do one-on-one, group match, team match.
Yeah,
Right.
so
etc.
if I go to join a 1v1 and it puts me in a 4-player free-for-all, I'm not going to
No.
be happy.
No, there is a dedicated 1v1 mode in For Glory. I'm talking about in regular For Glory or For Fun. It goes up to 4, but most of the time it ends up being a one-on-one.
Oh,
You mean
oh.
within a particular room?
I think he means
Oh, you
like
mean-
the free-for-alls don't fill up and they just
Yes.
start the match.
Right, if there's
Okay,
like
okay,
if
got
there's
it.
2 other rooms trying to be formed and they already have 2 people, they should just combine the 2 rooms.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get what you're saying
That's
Okay,
now.
got it, yeah.
agreeable.
That's probably what they should do. I was just gonna say real quick, if you played it recently, it is like impossible to get any big group matches going. I could only find people in For Glory.
I doubt you were
Yeah.
playing for fun.
Well, I know. I was trying to play with a friend.
Now, how do you feel about there being more matchmaking options like a regional or worldwide?
Oh yeah, I
Kinda
think
like
they
what they
should
do with Mario Kart. That'd
include
be
stuff like
good.
that,
Yeah, I think
or
they
maybe
should do
even
that.
Or,
skill-based searching.
and I was thinking, and this is a greedy idea of mine, a specific international region that I could pick. Like, say, I want to specifically encounter players from this region, and I would only do this because maybe it's nighttime here, but it's daytime there. Therefore, I can get players from there quicker.
Right.
Or is that too specific?
I think that's too specific because worldwide players would log on regardless.
Right.
All right.
At
and
that
our
point, you
next
might as well just have it open to all.
I think
But
the
yeah.
biggest question is, are there still that many players, or have people moved
Yes.
on?
People have not moved on yet. Surprisingly.
Maybe not.
Before we
Yeah.
move on to your next question, Jughead,
Sorry.
Robbie, thoughts?
Yes, I have them. I am not a mindless hunk of dirt.
Excellent.
And I've
All right,
been-
Jughead, move on.
All right. This is probably an easier problem to fix. In sudden death online, the surviving players are able to hang on to the edges and avoid the bombs until they make a mistake or get bored and drop. This can cause me to wait till they're done screwing around before I can play again. I can't just leave a match because if I quit, it bans me.
Oh, yeah, in a
It
group
got
match.
to be so bad in Brawl that 2 players at Hyrule Temple caused a match to last for 15 minutes.
That sounds like X-Zero and I without sudden death.
I feel like they should incorporate something that detects if players have gone so long without actually hitting or interacting with each other, it should end the match or something.
I feel like they should increase the spawn and speed of the bombs, and specifically have spawn boxes that drop on the ledges.
Wait, why not just
Yeah,
have the
that's one of my
players...
solutions.
I was gonna say, like, why not put a bomb on the players and they have this many seconds to deal with each other, or they
Oh yeah, a
die.
timer before they self-destruct. That would be neat.
Yeah, just do
What
that.
about if if a match ends with a tie score, this is time, by the way. I know you guys are mostly stock, but say it's in a time battle, it's a tie score. The winner be determined by damage percentage.
Oh, that.
I
I was
think
just-
it would definitely force them to be more aggressive if they want to win, and
I
therefore
was yeah.
possibly lead to a clear winner.
I was just thinking of an alternative way to decide in that case, rather than going off the damage. If it comes to that countdown timer, if you inflict hits while the timer's counting down, it counts it down faster on the player that gets hit. So it would make them
rather
be more
than a
aggressive.
damage percentage.
Yeah, rather than going based off who has the damage percentage at the end.
That sounds like it could just be a fun mode on its own.
That could probably.
Maybe they can add it into a special Smash.
That'd
Yeah.
be neat.
But yeah, acknowledging damage to determine a winner would be good too.
All right, next one.
Next one.
This is the biggest issue. Players are teaming up unfairly. Players form bonds and team up against those who continue to fight. And I think it's gotten worse since Brawl, because in Smash 4, your Nintendo Network IDs are visible. Now,
Oh
they could
yeah.
always be lying, but, people will identify.
Trolls.
Yeah, campy, lazy players also seem to attract other players.
See, I'm not sure how
And-
you'd fix that though.
More often than not, it's usually somebody who's got so much skill they got to his or her head.
Right.
In a
You fix
typical 3v1, there's usually an alpha player, Blinky, who does most of the targeted fighting, an assistant, Pinky, who may try to hold the victim for the alpha or even give the alpha a free point, and a lone wolf, like Clyde, who does his or her own thing unless he or she gets an item or is approached by the player that they're all targeting. Unfortunately, there is no way to enforce proper play, because these players I've seen will argue that there's no right or wrong way to play, especially in for fun where everybody can have fun in different ways, interpreted differently.
Right.
So then, what if there was an option to, let's say, not prefer a particular player? Like, if you would hover over
Avoid.
their name, like avoid, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
that
hover
would-
over their name in the character selection and then bring up like a drop-down menu, you can avoid this player for future reference, leave the room, and then that'll make sure you don't get matched up with them again because you know what they're capable of.
Just like
That
Overwatch.
is something that's already in place, but it's not good enough. It's blocking.
So then
It'll-
let's just
it'll
say
look after a match has
improve.
happened, I can block somebody. Unfortunately, this is sort of into my next issue, but I'll say it anyway. Unfortunately, the Wii U has only so much space for people you block.
Oh, that's kind of a
I
bummer.
would assume the Switch is the same way.
Probably.
So I'll get a troublemaker after a month or so.
Robbie, you were gonna say something.
I have a 100% every time fix for this. Play 1v1s.
Yes.
He's
That
not
is-
wrong.
No.
I mean, I enjoy having free for alls sometimes. 1v1s
Right.
are fun, but sometimes you just want a more chaotic match.
Sometimes you
And
just want to play
it
a
can't-
fun party game.
It can't appeal to everyone in that way. Maybe have a separate mode in for fun that's, I guess, actual free for all, and then there's for fun teams. Maybe that would separate things.
I thought so too before we got Smash Wii U, but they do have a team mode, but nobody uses it.
Oh,
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Let you do team mode with a friend, dang it.
I was
that would
just.
be yes.
Jeez.
Now one of you touched upon this earlier, where you allow players to form their own rooms for randoms to join, and at the very least, the host player can describe what type of match he or she desires,
Yeah, that's
so that like-minded players know what they're getting into.
how
I was-
like any game works these days.
Yeah. I was just thinking. I don't know how feasible this would be, but have a dynamically changing mode system where if players in a free for all start teaming up it switches it to a team match and makes them be on teams. I don't know if that
Unfortunately,
helps
usually
the
ends
problem,
up
but
turning it into a. It's usually the one player against 3 who want a
Right.
party.
mm,
If you
I mean,
had it set up more like a server or something, and you could like start your own room or whatever, and
yeah.
then you could just
moderate your
pick
own
people
stuff.
who are doing that, and that
Right.
That would
Yeah.
Now, how do you
solve
feel
that.
about players' past history being visible? I don't know how that would work.
What do you
I
mean
mean,
by
Something along
past
the lines
history?
of something along the lines of this person typically plays, or this person typically doesn't do anything.
Yeah, some fighting
I might be
games
getting
do
too
that.
specific again.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll
I-
show like the disconnect rate for a player, and you can determine whether or not they're kind of a troublemaker or
Yeah.
not.
I imagine it would be like a stats thing, like X amount of games played, total amount of damage dealt online. So if it's a lazy player, they would have a low amount of damage but a high amount of games.
Total amount of salt.
stats are good.
So where would you be able to see that? Because everything
Profile.
is
It should show. I think that's something that should show on the person when they join the room. It should be visible immediately.
Yeah, that should
They're-
be like if you look at their profile, it should tell you their stats. That's basic for any game these days.
Yeah.
in which case I would hope that you'd be able to see their stats before the first match begins.
Right.
Because usually I have to just go in there hoping it works, and then that's when I can see their profile.
Right.
And at which case, that's when I can block or even report if I need to. Which segues into my fourth problem. If we're all done here,
Go ahead.
the moderation system is flawed.
No way.
Yeah.
Eh,
The current system allows you to block and report players, but those two options are not mutually inclusive, and trying to block and report the same player causes an error down the Wii U. And this error code doesn't even exist on Nintendo's help site.
Well, that's just poor programming on their part.
Yeah, that's just something they'd have to fix the next time around.
Way to
I'm not
go,
proud of it.
Namco.
Freaking Namco. Sitting around eating pellets all day.
I always
Scared of
thought it
ghosts.
had something to do with how the Wii U was designed for handling blocked players and whatnot.
I think it's more so the specific game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the hardware that's the cause, rather than the software and the programming within
Yeah.
it.
Now, regarding reporting players, there is a limit to how many times I can report somebody. It
Right.
doesn't say how many times though, and it's inconsistent on how many times. Sometimes it'll give a warning, sometimes it won't, and I'll get the ban.
They assume you're just trolling at that point, I guess.
Yeah, if you do it too much, they'd probably think there's something wrong.
Reporting different people or the same person?
Different.
Hmm. Maybe they could limit how many times you can report a day.
Maybe if that
think it
person
is.
got reported multiple times by different people is when it'll give them a warning.
Now, I do see evidence that it does work a little bit, but the easiest way for some troublemaker to get around it is to have an alternate account.
Right.
They could get banned on one account and they just come back on another.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean-
The Switch.
Didn't I just block you? I'm
That's
seeing
like
you
a
24
global
hours later.
thing, though. Like, they do that in every game.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Switch makes it really easy to swap accounts now.
And, like, the only way to deal with that would be to block an IP,
Right.
which is, I guess, what they should do.
How often do you encounter the same player, though?
Let's see.
Well, anytime I
A
host
lot,
a room, this
actually.
X-Zero guy's always there.
It's true.
Awful.
I forget when, but at some point during Smash 4's lifespan, it kind of went from worldwide to regional.
Oh, really?
I mean, I can get other players from other places, but usually I'm from California. I usually end up playing people from California.
Really?
I mean, that would make sense that they try to match you with the best connections to you.
Yeah.
But
But
Right.
the connection's bad anyway. I could play against somebody from France and the connection's better.
well, that would just be their server issues. Like, they don't have dedicated servers yet, which is why they're doing the paid online thing, so they can pay for upkeep on dedicated servers.
So I
You know
guess
that for sure.
That's pretty much why they're doing it, from what I've come to understand.
yeah, I
Maybe
guess.
that would probably alleviate most of these issues.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They'll probably fix most of it just because it's gonna be paid now.
If you notice, like, all the Wii games are taken down because they were using a third party for their servers. So some of them were
Yeah.
very short-lived.
Now, obviously, these issues are more apparent to someone like me because I play with randoms more often. You guys probably don't.
I mean, I play with mostly 1v1, so I don't really have any issues with it.
You guys usually play with friends, and obviously, these issues have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Does the current, like, does Smash 4 have any sort of matchmaking, or does it just send you up against whatever? It doesn't, like, try to
They
match you
claimed
with...
it does. They claim
Oh, it does?
in the direct that, or one of the directs, that there would be a matchmaking based on skill, but I see no evidence of that.
Don't either.
Yeah, I thought
I
you were
was gonna
supposed to have
say-
some kind of online ranking, and that never really happened,
Global
did it?
Smash
Oh,
Power.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Because the whole Smash Power thing is completely flawed because it's not based solely on your performance in a specific.
It's based on how much you play online, isn't it?
It's based on your cumulative score of multiple modes that may not have anything to do with each other.
Right.
Like with Target Blast or Smash Run or something like that, you still have global Smash Power as long as you're connected to the internet, wherein you can assign, or the score you get on your system will then be uploaded automatically online to compare with other people, and your global Smash Power tells you how many people you've outranked. Like for my Smash Run, global Smash Power, I think is over like 2 million,
Right.
something like that.
I don't even pay attention to what it is half the time.
I
Global
was
Smash
gonna-
Power.
I was gonna say, maybe not to change subject real quick, but do you think that we need a better communication system other than changing your name?
If you're in a friend room, there's no reason you shouldn't have voice chat. Like, come
Right.
on.
Just get the
Need
Nintendo
something.
app on your
But they
phone.
shouldn't. They
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
do voice chat with randoms though.
No.
No.
And
No,
that's
no,
where
no.
that's where he's getting at with name.
Should
tag,
we
that's how
have
people
preset
I mean,
messages?
can the Switch can you communicate with people you've recently played with on the Switch? I don't remember.
There could be some way of in a
Send them
room
text messages.
you can have preset messages to send out to players, or like have a shout feature maybe. Like all
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Mario
of is
Kart?
Monster Hunter. Kind of like Mario
Hearthstone
Kart.
does that.
Or just
Yeah,
like
I was thinking of
taunts.
Monster Hunter, where you could broadcast it to the lobby and even type out different messages manually, or assign it to a particular macro and then post it out that way.
Mm,
You know, when you
So
mount
maybe-
somebody.
Like when you
Yes.
mount somebody, yes, inside jokes.
or you just
Um,
need a quick
Tee-hee.
drink of some sort of dew.
But Nintendo doesn't strike me as wanting to allow any communication with randoms.
That's
Yeah,
because
'cause-
Nintendo likes to keep the family-friendly image.
Yeah.
But with the Switch,
so any
they...
risk of vile behavior,
Yeah.
they don't want to take.
But the Switch, they do seem to be targeting the more mature audience. So maybe
So
they'll
f-
change their mind?
So far, have we seen any evidence of that?
There hasn't
Not
been
really.
any
My
big
only experience so far with the
multiplayer
Switch Online has
games
been Splatoon 2, and all I get is
other than Splatoon.
booyah and over here or help.
Oh, what if you could draw at people? That'd be cool. That could actually become.
You know how
very-
many dicks would be drawn?
So many. Ah! Yeah, especially because you couldn't moderate them immediately.
Was that the last issue you had?
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
that's the last of the 4 big problems for online.
Yeah. Hopefully they will touch upon that and improve it.
Oh, one more thing I just had an idea for. On the topic of being able to match with people, if you specifically want to have dittos or to fight specific characters, I think they should have an ability to search for people like that.
An option,
Like
you
I
mean?
want to practice against
Options.
Marks.
Right.
I only want to fight
Yeah,
Marks.
that's a great idea.
I think that'd be awesome.
All I know is
I want to not fight Bayonetta. Just everyone else is fine. No Bayonetta.
You'll also know which characters never get played, because you'll go to fight a duck hunt and there'll be no one there.
Yeah, I think they're just filtering
I
by
already know what
character
characters
played.
are more popular than others.
right.
Duck Hunt isn't one of them.
Oh, I know.
It'd be
I'm
such
sad.
an easy thing because the game already keeps track of your most played character, so it would be able you'd
That's
be able to
another
filter
idea.
out players based on their
I've
character.
always
choice.
wondered about that.
Yeah.
Or say I'm in a random match, I choose Luigi, and it'll show number 1, and that'll let other people know that's my most used character. Or if you go
Yeah.
to Diddy Kong, it'll show number 50.
That way people can't be like, now I'm going to use my main. This is my real main. Like
Not
that
sure
says
how much
7
that'll
on
help
it.
or hinder anything, but it'd be interesting.
But then you get Smurfs. Then you get Smurfs who go and just
Oh,
idle with
yeah,
Jigglypuff
yeah.
all day.
This is my 36th Jigglypuff. It's definitely not good.
All I know is I don't know if promise is the right word, but I'll go with it for now. Promises were made to improve the online experience during one of the Smash 4 Directs, and I don't feel like they fulfilled it to the extent.
I feel like they improved it, just not as much as we were wanting.
Yeah, they
One
kind
area
of
that they
made the
definitely
basic.
fixed is player starting and not playing. They definitely
Yeah.
fixed that.
Okay.
We'll see you next time when Alex does the outro.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Tell us your ideas on how they can improve the online and what stages you would like to see in Smash. And tune in next time for our next episode of Super Smash Symposium Brothers on the Legends channel. Bye-bye!
And tune in next time on Smash Brothers for the
Goodbye!
Hege!
I already stopped recording.
I almost hit leave call.
Get us started.
So, what should we do first, stages or online?
Let's do
Online.
stages.
Or stages, okay.
All right, let's do online.
No stages. It's too late.
Stages! Ah!